morning, law office.
Yes, I'm trying to speak to Mr. Balduf.
Can you tell me your name?
Rochelle Coleman.
Okay. Hello?
Hi, this is Rochelle Coleman.
Hi, Rochelle Coleman.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm calling because they didn't release my kids. Now, yesterday they said on the record that if I sign the papers, I get my children. So, why?
No, they did.
No, they didn't? What did they say then, sir? Because I wouldn't have signed the papers. Have you listened to the court record?
Have I listened to the court records?
Oh,
What court records are you referring to?
With my children. Why haven't they released my kids, or when are they
What
going to release?
court records are you referring to?
The court record yesterday. We went to court yesterday with your wife. They said...
Have I listened to the court records? They're not available yet. How fast do you think they work?
No, what I'm saying is, when I went to court with your wife, they said, the judge asked, well, why can't Rochelle have her kids? They said she can if she signs these papers. So I signed the papers with the advisement of the lawyer, of your wife, and now my kids are not being released. So I just want to know, when are they being released?
Well, I don't know. Did you ask the judge? They would be released?
It was supposed to be yesterday. They weren't. So they told me to call you.
Who told you?
The clerk, the judge's clerk, Connie or Bonnie or something like that told me to call you. Because I asked them, like, why haven't they been released? Because I called the center trying to go get my kids.
And what did they say? What was the reason?
They said I've got a call. So, do you have any information on my case when I'm getting my kids? Because you are my attorney, right?
I don't have any information that you're getting your kids, but if you went to pick them up and they said what? That they can't give it to you, why?
Because they haven't received a call.
From who?
From you. Or even the county. I called Kevin Hayward. He said he didn't have anything, and he said call you. So I'm calling you again today.
It makes no sense to me, Rochelle. I don't know.
So you're telling me you know no information about my case yet?
I have lots of information about your case. I have no information about your question.
But you're married to the woman in court to me yesterday. She didn't tell you anything about the case yesterday?
The notes I have don't reflect what you're telling me. No, I don't have that information.
So you're saying that I'm not getting my kids back. That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything.
So
I'm saying I don't have the information that you're asking.
So when am I getting my kids?
I don't have the crystal ball, Rochelle.
So what I'm saying,
I don't have the answer to your question.
Okay. So do you know when you might have that question? The answer?
Well, no. When did they say they're going to get a call?
They said, I called you yesterday after they told me to call you. The judge's clerk told me to call you. His secretary, the judge, Hanuszczak's office.
To do what?
Because they didn't release my kids. So when I called Mary, the social worker, supervisor, she's off today, and then I called Kevin Hayward, and I just left him. He said, call you.
Well, they don't immediately return kids. They have to
They
be...
immediately... Okay.
Hold on. You're not listening, and that's going to make a problem. Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. When they release children, before they do that, they have to be looked at by a doctor. And they do that because they don't want anybody to come back and say, hey, you did this to my kid or something. So if the doctor okays it, then they would be okay to be released. Now, I don't know if that was the holdup because you're not telling me that's the holdup.
How would I know that? They told me yesterday.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
You're like us.
Okay.
So if we're not telling you something, I don't understand it.
Well, you're married to the woman that was right there.
I know. I'm telling you, if you went to pick your kids up and they told you they don't have anything about that, that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. All right, well...
I don't know. So if you're supposed to pick them up and they're not ready, the only thing I can think of is because they haven't been looked at.
Okay, well...
That would be one reason, but they didn't tell you that, so that's probably not it.
She didn't tell me anything. She said the worker didn't notify her. And then I called the worker. He told me to call you.
Right, so, well, it would make sense to me that the worker would notify them. Yeah, that would make sense.
All right.
So if he hasn't notified him yet, that would be be a reason why they wouldn't release because they don't know anything about it.
Well, when do you what are you gonna help me get my
Michelle, I've been in trial all week. I have been unavailable to look at your case. I had somebody appear because of that.
I know, but you gotta.
I've only been on your case for like a week for Christ's sake. And I'm getting calls from the appellate division about something I have no knowledge.
So
when I did talk to the attorney for this child, she explained to me that you did in fact have your fact-finding hearing, which you told me and insisted that you had.
no, I didn't. When I went with Mrs. Guerin, there was no fact-finding hearing. The judges. That's for you. Look, this is why you're hired.
Why I'm telling you, I'm finding contrary information.
That's why you can't make me appellate court. I
answer your question.
Well, that's fine.
I'm giving answers that are different.
No, well, we haven't even met yet. You're telling me something. You haven't produced any evidence. The judge is corrupt. Period. Point blank. There was no reason to get my kids taken, and you're supposed to be fighting for me. But we're arguing for some reason. But I will let you go and enjoy your weekend, and hopefully you start.
Who said I'm supposed to be fighting for you? Who said that?
Oh, so that's
I'm supposed to be representing you.
Yes, that's the point.
I don't want to go to. I'm not going to fight for it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to put that in writing.
Honestly, I'm not going to fight somebody for you.
Nobody said. I didn't mean that literally. I meant that figuratively, and I'm sure you understand that. But okay, well, you have a good weekend. Hopefully by Monday you can get some information.
I hope so.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
That was me and William Balduf here in Syracuse, New York. This is his phone number. Can you see it? 474-5533. That's the type of professionalism that I'm getting from this lawyer, William Balduf. So something's going on. There's a lot of covering up. I sat with his wife in court. She didn't greet me. She didn't come up. She went with the appellant opposing side and sat in there. And then right before we got called in, she said, "Hey, you." She didn't say Miss Coleman. She knew very well what my name was. So something's up. My kids were supposed to get, and they said yesterday if I sign these papers. So I don't know, like he's saying, if it's true, they have to be physically checked. But my kids already been to their doctors and all this other stuff, and they took my kids without a physical. That doesn't make any sense, but I mean, if that's what they need to do, fine. But that was something that should have been explained to me before I signed. They said today you can get your kids. That was on the record. And then I asked Mr. Balduf, Balduf, can I get transcripts of these cases? Because you're telling me that I already had a trial. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I have never given anybody any facts or any information in the beginning because we've had several so-called cases. It was supposed to be just one. But then they kept adding stuff with not serving me with any amendments. There's nothing.